Hi, everybody, and welcome to our Telarus Tuesday call for July 9th, 2019. We hope everybody had a memorable and patriotic Independence Day celebration here in the USA last week. Great for everybody. Hope you took time with family and friends. Here's a quick shout out to all of our partners attending our Telarus Innovation Conference in Philadelphia today. Hope you have a great time and enjoy that amazing experience. We have more about that coming up. I'm Doug Miller, the voice of Telarus, and today I'll be joined by the president of RapidScale as we discuss cloud computing, the number one option for improving IT efficiencies in businesses of all sizes. Today we'll learn how to win cloud opportunities on the back of traditional UC sales and learn how the channel is leveraging IT as a service with products and services complementary to UC and network. Mark Satowski, President and Chief Strategy Officer, will join our call in just moments. Also on today's call, we're reintroducing a Telarus supplier, much about which you may not know. It's Your6, industry leaders in providing cloud surveillance and access control solutions. Your6 focuses on cyber-secure IoT and physical security solutions. Your6 joins us for a relaunch of their partnership with Telarus. That introduction is also coming up in just moments. On last week's call, we were joined by Altice Business, part of Altice USA. They are one of the largest broadband communications and video service providers in the country. They offer data, internet, voice, and managed services, including security, aggregation, and IT services. Their Altice One platform is your client's broadband, Wi-Fi, phone, and TV service all in one, bringing together the connectivity and the content they need. Our longtime Telarus friends Shirley Singh and Laura Keon joined our call with a tremendously powerful presentation, and that recording is available now in your Telarus partner back office. Also on last week's call, we introduced our partners to a new Telarus supplier, Internap Corporation. You likely know them as INAP. They're a global provider of performance-driven, full-spectrum data center and cloud solutions. INAP develops industry-leading automation technologies. They take a solution engineering approach to finding the right mix of infrastructure solutions and price versus performance value. Your clients win with a comprehensive data center and managed cloud solution that isn't just future-proof, it's future-making. You can hear more about INAP both from their introduction during last week's Tuesday call and from their official launch call, which happened last Wednesday. Those recordings are both in your Telarus partner back office. As always, we invite you to move to the center of each aisle, refrain from any photography or video recordings, never spill spot remover on your dog, and please log in to the video link and live chat platform to see all of today's valuable information and to submit your questions and comments for today's presenters. Here we go. Each week we update our President's Club opportunities. Look at this. It simply gets better every week. Sabrina, if you'll put that slide up, our suppliers continue to help make it easy for you to qualify for this year's Telarus President's Club Award. We're going to be taking qualifying partners next March to an amazing getaway at the all-inclusive Secrets Vallarta Bay Resort in beautiful Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. So many ways to qualify. You can either sell a combined $100K in Telarus MRR, or you can sell a specified amount with one of the individual sponsoring suppliers shown on your screen. We've got some terrific and easy ways to qualify. Don't miss this opportunity to join Telarus next year in Puerto Vallarta for our 2019 Telarus President's Club. And we have officially announced these past few weeks the upcoming 8th annual Telarus Partners Summit, the premier event for Telarus partners. In just 4 weeks now, hundreds of partners and suppliers will meet in Aurora, Colorado at the brand new Gaylord Rockies Luxury Resort, August 7th through 10th. We have one goal for this multi-day conference, and that is to train and empower our partners to be the go-to technology experts that their clients need. That is how you grow your business in today's market. This year, our event features a Top Gun theme where the best come to learn the sales tactics needed to become dangerous to their competition. We're celebrating the 50th anniversary of Top Gun, not the movie, but the U.S. Navy Strike Fighter Tactics Instructor Program, and we'll be offering a fleet of training sessions focused on charting a course for technology transformation. This year's keynote speakers include Top Gun co-founder Captain Dan Pedersen, who helped reshape the nation's military strategy for generations to follow, and also Captain Charlie Plum, who flew the first adversarial flights in the development of what would become Top Gun. He also spent 6 years as a prisoner of war. You'll hear about his experiences and how those changed his life and gave him valuable determination that led to a continued very successful career. Helping us sponsor this year's event are more than 70 of our suppliers, including Diamond Suppliers, ACC Business, AT&T, AirSpring, Comcast Business, CenturyLink, IBM, Nice in Contact, Ring Central, and TalkDesk. There is no better place to meet one-on-one with executives and channel chiefs from our suppliers and to strategize with them about growing your business. Plus, there are dine-arounds, exhibits, panels, and many other ways to better learn what our suppliers offer and how to best engage with their resources. 80 suppliers will be at Partner Summit this year. Take advantage of this opportunity to meet with each of them, learn more about the resources that they offer. Also at Partner Summit will be our popular casino night, a new Telarus technology reveal, which will change the way you do business, epic training, including work with our engineers on the hottest industry technologies, so much more. Not to mention more than $10,000 in prizes and a raffle among all attendees for a Peloton bike at the event's end. The awards banquet will take place on Friday night and then stay on Saturday for an incredible and adventurous networking activity of your choice. There are still a few slots left for fly fishing, pistol range, archery range, clay shooting, golf, and the infamous Telarus pool party. Registration is underway and the time is short. It's your last chance to sign up for the events you choose. Check out the Telarus Partner Summit. You can register at telarus.com/PS for Partner Summit, and we'll see you in August for this incomparable event. A lot of other activities coming up as well. Here's our weekly calendar of upcoming local and regional events. We are just seemingly everywhere. If you want to pop that slide back one, Sabrina, we'll leave the address up where folks can get more information on these. First up, tomorrow, Wednesday, July 10th, from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m., right here in Salt Lake City, Utah. It's the CenturyLink Boot Camp downtown at the CenturyLink offices. This is intensive training on CenturyLink solutions, including digital transformation, security, SD-WAN, hybrid IT, and the latest roadmap for SMB solutions. Join us here in Salt Lake City at the CenturyLink offices tomorrow for our CenturyLink Training Boot Camp. Meanwhile, our Telarus Mobility and IoT boot camps are underway this week in Texas. Tomorrow, Wednesday, from noon until 4 p.m., we'll be at Topgolf in San Antonio for mobility and IoT training from Global Gig, CyberReef, VMOX, and Source. And on Thursday, the IoT and Mobility Boot Camp travels to Dallas from noon until 4 p.m. at Maggiano's Little Italy. It's the restaurant in Plano. Advantix, Global Gig, CyberReef, and Sprint Business will all provide detailed instruction and help in building your mobility business. Also Thursday in Denver, Colorado, Telarus is conducting our security boot camp from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. And I know you want to hear me do the accent again. It's at Maggiano's, Little Italy. You'll hear from the security experts at IBM, Stickley on security, and Cyber Compass from RSI. If you are in New York this Thursday, July 11th, oh, you got to come out and see us. Let's meet up at the Saratoga Race Course in Saratoga Springs from 11 a.m. until 5 p.m. for opening day at the races. Suppliers Spectrum, Nitel, Nextiva, and virtual agent provider Inference Solutions will be there for a fun and exciting afternoon at the races in New York. Hope you'll join us for those. And let's switch to the next slide. Our July Telarus Innovation Conferences are underway this week. Many of our partners are gathered today in Philadelphia at the NFL's Lincoln Financial Field, home of the Eagles. And this Thursday, July 11th, our Telarus Innovation Conference takes place in St. Louis, Missouri, at the Cardinals Nation Complex, an incredible facility featuring a baseball Hall of Fame and museum. These events are immersive technology training experiences which explore IoT, security, contact center customer experience. They will take your business to the next level. You'll receive all new, outstanding training and content from the Telarus team and from many industry experts. Huge prize giveaways going on at each event. Of course, the most valuable prize will be the knowledge and training you'll receive. You can't get this anywhere else to build your business. Our full schedule of events is available with all of Telarus's upcoming opportunities. You can register or RSVP at Telarus.com/events. We have two partners to recognize today who've put up some of the top sales during this past week. As we kick off the third quarter, they gave us permission to mention them on today's call. First off, we want to congratulate our longtime friend and partner, Jason Para of Broadstring Incorporated out of Highland Park, Illinois. Broadstring closed a phenomenal sale of SD-WAN services from AirSpring to a municipal client. We don't see as many of those. This was a terrific sale. Congratulations, Jason. He has been associated with Telarus both on the supplier side as well as on the partner side for many years. Good friend. We always wish him congratulations in his ongoing efforts. He always seems to wind up here at the top of our leaderboard. But taking the very top position this week, we congratulate James, Celia, and Matt Peters. They are the team at Customer First Communications. They're out of Anaheim, California. Truly a happy place this week for the Customer First Communications team. They posted an amazing unified communications services sale from Jive to a client in the workforce services industry. This was a phenomenal deal, and it reflects well the focus and the emphasis that our partners have on UC and other complex sales. Congratulations to the Peters out at Customer First Communications on this top Telarus sale of the week. We appreciate you putting that business through Telarus. These are fantastic sales. We're kicking off the third quarter in an amazing way in what is going to be a record-setting year for Telarus. And thanks to all of our partners and the suppliers who make these sales possible. We appreciate your business. Telarus is built for you. Well, today I have the honor of helping relaunch, if you will, an existing but new to many of you Telarus supplier. It's Your6. They're industry leaders in providing cloud surveillance and access control solutions. They focus on cyber-secure IoT and physical security solutions. Matt Goldman is the vice president and co-founder of Your6. He joins me now to reintroduce our partnership and help us better understand what it is that Your6 offers. Matt, welcome to our Tuesday call. Glad to have you here today.
Glad to be here. Thank you very much for the introduction, Doug. Appreciate the information shared. I hope everyone had a great 4th of July. Tomorrow, Your6 will be introducing to the partners in Telarus a brand new pipeline for revenue. If you have an appointment tomorrow during this call, we highly recommend that you reschedule it if you can. This might be the most valuable time that you folks spend growing your revenue stream for 2019. This is the opportunity to offer your customers, something no one else is offering. It's physical security as a service. It's in the Telarus portfolio. We have partners that we've worked with in the Telarus agency that have had such great success with this new offering that it's actually changed the way they do business. They've really focused on this offering, and for two reasons. It grows their revenue stream, and it brings something to their clients that they haven't had before. So when you think of physical security as a service, what we're referring to is surveillance, door access, and monitoring. Those are kind of the three prongs of the offering. And with our offering out there, Access Communications is the product that we deliver and offer through our service. We call it Smart Secure. And Access is the #1 IP manufacturer in the world. It's on a platform in 7 different data centers out there, which basically gives a full resilient solution to your customers. When you think of physical security as a service, try and think of if you folks are out there selling UCaaS today. If you look at the traditional telecom 15 years ago, it was very limited, right? Whatever the manufacturer was offering, that's what you got. And once UCaaS got into the cloud, telephony really expanded, right? There was just a lot of growth. There's a lot of feature sets, applications that weren't available in the traditional telecom, or what we refer to as UCaaS today. So that's what's happening with the cloud. We've got, like I say, 20 years of experience out there. In the cloud, we've been offering it for over 2 years, and it has taken off. The clients absolutely love it. Once we get a chance to talk to them and explain how we go about offering their surveillance, their the security, the surveillance, the door access, and the monitoring, we have great success. The close ratio is very, very high. So again, if you got time tomorrow, if you have something scheduled, try to reschedule it and join us tomorrow for this call. Eric Stiles and Jacob Hengel, Eric being our president, Jacob our CTO, will be presenting our Smart Secure solution tomorrow's call, and why it is important to your clients. The difference between traditional and what's going on with the cloud offering today, Smart Secure from your 6. It brings to the table a lot of, like was mentioned earlier from Doug, that it's a cyber secure approach. So it's something that stays off of the network and delivers a higher intelligence of security. So physical security as a service we refer to as PSaaS. We've had great success with it, and I just can't stress enough. If you can spend 1 hour tomorrow, it'll be the best hour you spend on growing your business as a Telarus partner. And with that, we hope to see you in August at the Telarus Summit. We'll be there. Look for your 6. And I guess that's all we have to say. I hope we can get your time tomorrow at 10 o'clock on the Telarus call. Thank you, Doug.
You bet, Matt. Hey, we're so happy that you're here on the call today. So many of our partners want to be involved in selling security, and many of those same partners tell us privately they don't know how to get started. Well, tomorrow is your chance. You want to find out what your 6 has to offer. There are various types of security, and physical security and the types of services that your 6 offers are critically important to your clients and much easier than you would imagine to be able to sell. They provide tremendous consultative approaches to helping your clients understand what security requires and how it affects their individual business. I have no doubt that Matt is not underselling this when he says you need to be there tomorrow and hear this presentation. Find out more about your 6. We are relaunching them for a reason. We want you to understand who they are and what they do. The relaunch call, if you will, happens tomorrow morning. As Matt mentioned, Wednesday, July 10th. You want to be there at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 10 Central, 9 Mountain, 8 Pacific. Plan on joining this. You will appreciate the time that you spent there. Matt, thanks so much for being on our call today. Hope a lot of our partners will take advantage of this incredible opportunity tomorrow morning.
Yeah, you bet. Thank you, Doug. We appreciate you getting us on and us getting the word out there.
Sounds great. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Thanks, Matt.
You bet.
All right, here is this week's training calendar. We have 4 excellent opportunities being featured on the call. First up, tomorrow, Wednesday, as we just mentioned, you want to be there for the relaunch of Your 6 and learn about cloud surveillance, access control, video monitoring, and Your 6's consulting and professional services. This event tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Eastern. Be there. Then also tomorrow, Wednesday, beginning at 2 p.m. Eastern, plan to join Momentum for a special unified communications discussion and why the network piece provides the solid foundation on which cloud voice and UC are built. The network remains the cornerstone for UC, and Momentum's carrier neutral cloud is interconnected with more than 200 carriers. Join tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern. Learn about the Momentum solutions that you can offer your clients to establish that solid network foundation. And then on Thursday, July 11th, beginning at 11 a.m. Eastern, there's special Telarus partner only training from RapidScale. This session is going to be a deep dive into RapidScale's products and services, the resources that are available to Telarus partners, and how you can grow your business with RapidScale. You're going to hear a lot about them today. You're going to hear even more on Thursday. Plan on being at this exclusive Telarus partner only training. And then also Thursday, July 11th, beginning at 1 and then again at 3 p.m. Eastern. You've got your choice. It's training on VX Support Line, a tremendous tool to test the voice quality from your client's location prior to committing to a specific service provider. Now, VX Support Line, of course, part of the VX suite of solutions offered through Telarus. You'll learn how to interpret the data you see, how to use those data to support a conversation about hosted voice. There's an immense market for UC as a service. You'll find out how VX Support Line can assist you in closing those opportunities. You want to be there on Thursday. You can choose either 1 o'clock or 3 o'clock Eastern. It's about a 25-minute training webinar. You'll see how this works, an invaluable tool that you can use in evaluating UC opportunities for your clients. The details and registration links for these and for many other live and recorded opportunities, they're all in your Telarus Partner Back Office at agent.telarus.com. Well, each week we try to pass along some of the newest and best spiffs and promotions being offered by our suppliers. We want to maximize the amount of money that you can earn as you provide these solutions to your clients. Here are 3 such incentives to consider. First up, from DialPad, a cloud business phone system that combines the power of voice, video, messaging, and meetings across all devices on one seamless platform. That's DialPad. And for new customers, DialPad is offering a 4x MRR bonus on all 2-year deals sold before July 31st. But here's the big one. You can take advantage of a 6x MRR bonus on all 3-year deals. Spectacular incentives on the products and services your clients need. Take advantage and get dialed in with these impressive spiffs and bonuses from DialPad. Next up, from Wireless Watchdogs, you'll get a $200 American Express gift card when you register for a free wireless analysis with your client or prospect that has at least 100 devices. Managing those devices is something that no client enjoys, and this free analysis can identify savings from $10 to $15 per device. Think about that. Using your client's existing wireless carriers. It's a great way to strengthen your client relationships. You'll earn money for yourself in the process and save your clients big time. Check out the Wireless Watchdogs 3rd quarter spiff. Easy money for you and for your clients. And next, from New Horizon Communications, Telarus partners earn 2x MRC spiffs on access sales of broadband, dedicated Ethernet, and cable services. There's also a 2x MRC spiff on voice, including SIP and PRI. New Horizon also offers a UCaaS spiff, $80 per seat with no minimum. Beat that. These offers are valid through 2019. Think New Horizon for your clients' network and voice solutions. These and many more fantastic deals from our suppliers can all be found at promo.telarus.com. All right, as I mentioned earlier, our featured presentation on today's call is from RapidScale. Today we're talking about cloud computing, today's #1 option for improving IT efficiencies. RapidScale's managed cloud services complement any business in any industry. They offer a simple migration to the cloud and solutions to your clients' critical IT pain points. Mark Satowski is the President and Chief Strategy Officer at RapidScale. Mark, welcome to our Telarus Tuesday call. We're going to hear today about some big wins and how Telarus partners can generate similar successes using RapidScale. How are you?
Good morning, Doug. I'm doing fantastic, and thank you for having us today. Really excited about spending a little bit of time with the Telarus partner community and getting them excited about opportunities that are out there. And of course, hoping that they'll join the training on Thursday to learn even more.
It's a double feature this week. We've got you today with a lot of the information about wins, and then we're going to get deep dive into the details on Thursday. Can't wait. Let's talk about it.
Fantastic. Thanks, Doug. So obviously, everybody out there is aware that cloud computing is now Main Street. Here at RapidScale, we've been doing this since 2008, and obviously been growing and having a great time doing it, and really wanted to get into a win, and we call it an anatomy of a deal, Doug, and kind of peel back the onion and share with the Telarus partners exactly what we did and how we did it. And obviously one of our sales partners was involved in it as well. Kind of show them what signs to look for. And then after we've gone through the deep dive on this one win, we'll talk about 2 other wins in extremely cloud-centric verticals. So looking forward to sharing this with everybody today. With that, if we could go to the next slide, Sabrina. Fantastic. So law firms. I don't know about everybody on the call today, but I used to really not like selling to law firms. It kind of, it didn't scare me, but you know, law firms are in the business of being in the courtroom. And what we found is that law firms, you know, I once had a customer years ago when I was in my telecom days, and he jokingly told me, you know, it's really easy for me to sue you. I just have to fill something out and drop it off at the courthouse when I'm there. And that really turned me off to selling to law firms. Over the years, though, I've come accustomed to really endearing law firms because they need a lot of help, guys. Law firms are definitely one of the fastest growing verticals in the cloud today. So let's talk about the profile of the deal that we're going to speak of this morning. One of our traditional partners, right, a traditional telecom agent, has been in the business for over 10 years and traditionally sold voice and data services to his customers. He has been trying over the last probably 24 months to really pivot his business and become much more cloud-centric. He sees the value in selling cloud services to his customer base, and he also sees the value in utilizing the cloud to open up doors to new prospects. So we were lucky enough to have a great partner involved in this deal who had a long time relationship with the customer. He'd known the law firm for a while, sold them voice and data services in the past. And one of the opportunities that he had seen was that they hired a new IT director. And that IT director was very open to having a conversation with him about what he was doing beyond the voice and data services that this partner was providing to him. Go ahead and go to the next slide, Sabrina. Next slide, Sabrina. Thank you. So identifying the opportunity, right? He'd worked with this customer. It took him about a year to sell him voice and data services. And in that during that transition, he was very open to listening to the customer and what pain points they were enduring on a daily basis when it came to things outside of the voice and data services. Obviously, he could help them out with that, but he noticed there was a lot more opportunity within this organization. And he brought in one of our partner experience managers and said, I think this is an opportunity, Andrew. I really want to get involved and learn more about it. Would you ride side by side with me kind of shotgun, if you would, and really help me identify what's going to make a good cloud opportunity for RapidScale. Andrew, one of our partner experience managers, said, of course, we'll do that with you. And one of the first things they noticed was their IT staff. And this, you know, law firms are notorious for having very thin IT staffs. And there was no coincidence that they were having the same here. They had a total of 2 people on IT serving over 150 employees. And that's a challenging business for anybody to run. Obviously, being a law firm, they had some mission critical business applications that if those applications were down or not performing well, there were problems, right? Like most law firms, multiple locations. So they were headquartered in Colorado, but they have locations all over the US. So again, think about that limited IT staff having to service customers outside of headquarters, right? How do I do that? How do I do that efficiently? And how do I do that in order to keep my costs down? They, of course, based on their size, they had an MSP that they've been working with, but to make it simply said, that MSP, they really had outgrown them. And I jokingly referred to a lot of MSPs as 2 guys in a truck, right? That's what the MSP business has been built on over the last 2 decades. Typically, you don't have MSPs who have, you know, 10, 20, 30 people in their organization. They're generally smaller. And, you know, they get a client like this and they serve them very well in the beginning. But as the client's requirements and needs change, it becomes very difficult to keep up with that. But what was the why, right? Why was this becoming an opportunity for RapidScale? And the compelling event is critical, guys. I have shared with sales partners all over the country. When we're talking about cloud, it's not a cost savings conversation. It's not about getting them more for what they're spending. It's about understanding their business and understanding and trying to identify a compelling event. And I'll tell you what, if this isn't a compelling event for a law firm or any other business, you tell me what is. They were losing billable hours due to those mission critical applications not performing at the levels that they expected them to. Losing money is definitely a compelling event. I think we all know the business impact is losing profitability. So we'll go to the next slide, please, Sabrina. So a little bit more about the client here, guys. National law firm, multi-locations, 150 users. Their critical applications, World Docs and ProLaw. One of the things you'll learn as you start selling more cloud services, it all comes down to applications and performance, right? That's really what we're looking for out there. And that's what your customers are looking for. They want that top level of performance, and they need it to work as if it's sitting there in their office right in front of them today. And we notice as we serve more customers and more verticals, we identify applications that are pretty much mainstream for those verticals. And World Docs and ProLaw are certainly 2 of those inside of the legal vertical. The IT team was struggling, as I mentioned before. So Citrix is a desktop as a service or a VDI, virtual desktop infrastructure solution. They had already invested in Citrix. But one of the things that, again, think about that MSP, helping them invest in Citrix. Unfortunately, no Citrix engineers with that MSP. The IT staff who's on board with the customer didn't have an expertise in Citrix either. So here they'd made a really nice investment in a great solution, and they didn't have the right people to make the solution work right. Not to mention, of course, their software needed to be updated. They lacked redundancy inside of the system infrastructure. And older buildings with no redundancy from a network or power or cooling standpoint was something we identified very early on inside of the sales process. Go to the next slide, please. So the frontal sales approach, right? This is the approach that most of us take when we're dealing with our customers, right? It's a direct approach in which a vendor has a clear competitive advantage, the solution based on price or reputation, right? it's teed up. The deal wasn't moving. We had been working on this one for nearly a year. We had verbally communicated that we were aligned. We had the right decision makers. Everything was going the right way. We just couldn't get this thing to move. How many of you out there have ever been in a deal where you're absolutely stuck, right? The IT director, the technical buyer, he definitely wants to do it. The president, the economic buyer, didn't want anything to do with it. He was sitting back and saying, we've already invested a lot of money. We've got an MSP. We have 2 of you on staff. Make this stuff work, right? I have to believe that on this call today, we have several of us who have been in this same position. So what do you do there, right? How do you get this thing to move forward? Go to the next slide, please. Well, back one, please. Thanks. So the flanking sales approach, right? I don't know how many of you have ever looked at doing this, but it is a technique that you can do, right? When you look at what's going on, you're stuck. You know, we'd had multiple calls with the president of the company. And again, we were just against a brick wall. So at some point in time, you have to make a decision of, we're not going to win with the frontal approach. So we've got to try something different. And based on the relationship that our partner had inside of this account, we got aligned with a couple of their other principal attorneys. By the way, this was a big risk, ladies and gentlemen, because these other attorneys could have, just looked to the president and said, nope, we're going to follow what the president wants to do. We're not going to make it happen. We're going to continue doing what we're doing. I think a lot of you on this call, if you've worked with attorneys before, you understand that attorneys can be very type A personalities, high Ds if you know DISC. So what we did is we got with a couple of attorneys and we kind of shared what we could do for them. And lo and behold, those attorneys got together with the managing partner and the president and moved forward into saying, let's really take a harder look at this, Mr. President, and why we're not doing it. Very risky approach, but at some point in time, you've got to take that risk. And as we say here at RapidScale, win fast, lose faster. If we're not going to win a deal, let's not burn a lot of sales calories. And we still run into businesses today where our partners make introductions, and let's just say they are dead set on continuing to purchase hardware, and they're not going to move to the cloud. If we identify that at the right levels inside of that organization, we'll move on to the next, because there are plenty of opportunities out there for us. All right, how did we solve their problems? What were the business needs? We realized right out of the bat that once the president opened up and listened to the other attorneys and realized that, hey, my job here is to make my attorneys happy, and I better find a way to do it because the current IT system isn't doing that. And the founder's vision to be able to hire attorneys anywhere in the world and remove the barriers of being brick and mortar, right? That was part of what we learned in the process, is that their number one goal outside of billable hours is to get great attorneys. And today, they don't all need to work in Colorado. They can be in New York, they can be in Miami, they can be anywhere and represent the firm. The solution that allows us to do that is desktop as a service. Office 365, obviously, most of you are aware with that. By the way, join that call on Thursday, guys, because RapidScale has completely repackaged our Office 365 offering, and you're going to be super excited to see what we can do for you and your clients with this new offering. Cloud infrastructure, we call it cloud server. And then obviously we had some migration work to do with these folks. But all in all, our solution fully aligned with the vision of the founder of the company, and that made the deal move very quickly into the next stage. Go ahead, Sabrina. So what's the economic impact on this one? I don't know how many of you out there would like to sign an $18,000 MRC deal, 36-month term. By the way, I can share with you, because I've spoken to the partner and he's given me permission to share, that the network on this deal was, so voice and data networks around 3,500. The IT spend, and if you think about IT spend as a pie, voice and data services joined that IT spend pie in the last 2 decades. And typically we find that they're between 10 and 25% of the overall IT spend. And it's kind of right in alignment here, $3,500 in network, $18,000 in additional IT. Obviously there was competition in there. We beat that competition. And one of the things that was very interesting about this is at the end of the day, the president, when we had our final meeting with them, looked at us and told us right in face-to-face, eye-to-eye, man-to-man, hey, you guys are more expensive. But you know something? Based on the vision of our founding partner and where we believe you can help us go, we're okay to spend a little bit of a premium, but you better deliver what you promised to us. So you don't need to be the least expensive to win in this world, guys. Go ahead and go to the next slide, Sabrina. Okay, so hopefully this was a deep dive into one of our opportunities that we closed in the last 12 months. And 2 things I want everybody to pick up out there. Number 1, this model of a law firm is not atypical. It's very typical, right? So you can find a deal that looks a lot like this if you start to prospect into the legal verticals. Remember the triggers, right? It was about losing billing hours. It was about the vision of the founder of being able to hire talent all over the country and not worry about them being housed inside of Colorado or anywhere. He wanted to fully empower them to be in their own cities, represent the firm, and grow his business. Remember, applications are key, guys. In all of our cloud services, it's always about the application performance and the experience of the client. We always focus in on that. And don't forget, consider the end user impact. The real issue here was that they were losing billable hours, right? When attorneys can't work and they're not making money, they're not quiet. And they were very welcoming of us to bring them into the boardroom and them share their experiences with the president, which eventually got us to win this deal. And the last thing I'll say about this one is please note that there were no feeds and speeds being talked about at all, right? The entire conversation was one around their business. For the last 5 years or so, I've been training partners all over the country, and I always ask you to ask yourself, what's the why? Why is this customer looking to go to the cloud? If we can find out that why in a compelling event with a business impact, we have a very high probability of closing that deal. Go ahead and go to the next slide. Okay. Probably, now we're not going to go deep on these guys. It'll only take another minute or 2. But I did want to definitely talk about a healthcare company. Healthcare is #1 cloud computing vertical for us here at RapidScale. There's not one that's doing more business for us. They are certainly where we have a lot of our prospective new clients coming from. And the reasoning is very simple. HIPAA compliance continues to go up. Doctors and dentists and insurers don't want to deal with HIPAA. They want to deal with what they do, right? They want to replace molars. They want to serve their patients. They don't want to worry about, am I going to pass my HIPAA audit from an IT standpoint? So HIPAA is a concern for most healthcare companies out there. Now, we're not talking about the Kaiser Permanentes of the world. Obviously, they do their own thing. We are talking about those medical practices that are maybe 2 or 3 or 4 doctors or medical management groups. This particular one was a dental practice management company. Currently, they had a limited IT staff. Sound familiar? Of course it does. They had purchased multiple dental practices that they were having a very difficult time integrating everything together. And their current MSP was way outside of their scope. Go ahead and go to the next one. So financial case study. Again, finance, lots of regulatory and compliancy requirements. Security is certainly drivers of all of our customers, but no more so than in the financial industry, right? They are very concerned about security, what's going to happen next. this was a regional bank out of the Washington D.C. area. This one was really interesting because they had an MSP that they'd been working with for several years. They brought in a new director of IT, and that director of IT stopped and looked and started to look at what the MSP was doing as far as billing them. They were billing them for a lot of things that the IT director who was just hired was like, how can you be billing me for this? This is a standard practice from an MSP. And what they uncovered very quickly is they had a non-technical person running IT who was overseeing the MSP and basically signing off on anything that came in from the MSP, assuming that it was a fair charge, when in reality, it wasn't a fair charge. So the MSP kind of helped themselves in being removed from this by having maybe not the highest of ethical practices when it came to this bank. This bank also lacked secure remote access to a lot of their applications. They had real poor support. Their technology was out of date. We sold this bank everything, guys. We sold them desktop as a security, infrastructure as a service. We sold them our hosted mail platform, security as a service, and disaster recovery. Very, very nice solution. 2-location bank, and the MRR on this deal, the monthly recurring charges or monthly recurring revenue, is right around $9,000 a month. So another great opportunity to sell cloud services. Go ahead and go to the next slide. So hopefully I'm not breaking any rules here, Doug, but I did want to remind the Telarus partner community that RapidScale is running a spiff. It's a one-time MRR, and it's good now through the end of September. And I think that is the end of our presentation.
They have no rules here on the Telarus Tuesday call. We just say, well, we'll edit that out in post. So, you know, but we're not editing this. This is big news. A 1x MRR spiff on RapidScale sales through the end of the third quarter. That's phenomenal. Just one more reason to be promoting these products and services, as if we didn't see enough from the case studies that you provided. Mark, great presentation. Every week I get to take a look at the top sales that come in, and we evaluate some of the biggest wins. You heard a few of them mentioned today. We take a look at the industries from which they came and the types of services that were sold. And I can tell you that over the last year, really almost 2 years, some of the biggest sales that we have had have been from the very industries that you mentioned: legal firms, healthcare services of all types, financial industries. And I don't know if it's specifically because of the changing compliance and regulatory requirements that are in those industries, or if it's in spite of them, but it seems to me that they lend themselves to the types of solutions that RapidScale provides, because you really are tailored for any type of business or industry, but you can make these things very specific to the industry that they're going after, and you're not afraid of the requirements of legal, financial, healthcare, and these types of industries.
You hit the nail right on the head, Doug. As a matter of fact, it was. I can almost remember the day. It was probably about 7 years ago when Randy Jeter, myself, and William Hyatt were sitting in a room, and we had our first healthcare customer who was going through a HIPAA audit, and we were their IT provider, and we had to stand up and do that audit with them. Little nerve-wracking, but of course we passed with flying colors. And we looked at it, and we looked at the complexity of what was coming forward. And rather than run away from compliances and regulatory requirements, we made a decision at RapidScale to run towards them. We felt as though it'd be a great step up and a great way to help our customers have the experience they're looking for and get a little extra from their IT provider than they traditionally would from an MSP. So yes, we are definitely involved in that every single day, and look forward to adding more customers through the Telarus partner community.
You know, while it's certainly true that these specific industries have their own regulatory and other compliance requirements, they also, in the experiences that I have seen and heard about, have some of the most savvy IT personnel and decision makers, they understand where it is that they need to go because of those very same requirements. They have a good feel for what's out there in the marketplace, and when they see a solution that RapidScale can offer, as you mentioned earlier, they're inclined to say things like, well, we're not worried about selling or buying the lowest priced opportunity that's out there. We need something that truly meets our needs. And while you may be dealing with a few of these hurdles, they also understand why these solutions make such sense and why they're so appropriate for their needs.
Yeah, you hit the nail again, Doug. I'm going to hire you to come and speak for us. The one big thing that we want to share with the entire community out there, IT is an investment, right? And traditionally, and I did my time in the voice and data world. I know a lot of our partners on the call today. It had always been selling the customer on, a value of a commodity. When you're into the IT side of the house, these folks are willing to spend money. They're willing to invest in IT for the efficiencies that come out of it on the back end, and they're looking at the ROI on their investment, right? If I go and I make this investment, which they did at the law firm, for example, they're expecting a good ROI on that money that they spend, and that ROI comes in more billable hours from their attorneys and less complaints from that attorney staff. And one of the pieces I didn't mention, Doug, that I will wrote very quickly, another challenge that they were facing, not imminently, but it was around the corner, was attorneys looking to go elsewhere because the technology wasn't serving them. And I forgot to put that into our deck for today, but it was certainly another factor that had them make the decision to come with us.
And that is true in almost every industry, is that we've got, in the tight employment market that we have today, people are leaving companies for all sorts of reasons, but in industries, especially where technology is premium, great people will leave because a competitor offers a better technological experience, making their job easier and allowing them to more quickly and effectively serve their customers. That's not a minor consideration.
Yeah, completely agree. And if you listen to the statistics today around the general job economy out there, we don't have people who stay with businesses for 10, 20, 30 years anymore. They're looking for the next best thing and to further their career and to have the best technology available to them. So great point, Doug.
Each of these industries that you mentioned, each one of them is becoming more digital, more data-driven. They have regulatory and compliance requirements that we've touched on before. But each industry, whether it's these or other industries, is looking to take advantage of what the cloud offers. And in most cases, I think they realize that, even with sometimes a migration on the front end, some cash outlay that may be there, they see that over the long haul, over the next 5 to 10 years, their ability to compete, their ability to remain viable is going to be dependent on them embracing cloud services and not only the technology, but the security and the ease of doing business that they offer. I was at the doctor just a few weeks ago and was blown away by the changes that they had made in just the last year in terms of my ability to access online everything related to my health care, everything related to my medical history, make appointments, cancel appointments, change this or that, consult with a doctor, do telemedicine, on and on and on. And every one of these, and I sell this, I work with this every day. I was blown away at what they had done just within the past year to make that a better experience for me and for the doctors, nurses, and other medical personnel that worked there. This is a fantastic conversation for our partners to be having.
I couldn't agree with you more. And what you just mentioned, I think about that as remember, I'm part of the old guard here, guys. I'm not the youngest man in the room anymore. I know that. But what we also have to look at is how is society changing as a whole? And you just hit the nail on the head. My mother, for example, would not be all that interested in the doctor's experience that you just shared. However, my nieces certainly would, right? They want it all now. They want it on demand. They don't want to get on the phone to call somebody. They want to use an app to go in and change their appointments, check their medical history, all that great stuff. So yeah, I think that we're in a time now where everything is being looked at as on demand. I need it now. The cloud is certainly a great way for businesses to get there. And one of the things that we've seen over the last, call it 5 years, is the propensity of the chief financial officers to be involved in our deals now. And when you start talking about the financial impacts to the customer, and you look at putting out a large capital expenditure to go buy the gear, stack the gear, pay for a colo for the gear, hire people to run the gear, the CFOs are not looking to do that, especially in mid-market and small enterprise. They're looking to outsource that to a cloud company like RapidScale, and then make IT, just a cost center that they have a better control over.
Will you go back and just say a few more words about the flanking sales approach? I thought that was a brilliant thing to bring up. I think so many times as we get into opportunities, our partners become frustrated. I know that some of the folks who work here at Telarus with our partners become frustrated for them because the partner says, hey, we had this great opportunity. We've been working on it for 3 months. We thought it was a go, and I'll get back to you as soon as it starts to move. But right now it's not going anywhere. Talk just a little bit more about why shifting that strategy and perhaps the folks that you're dealing with and the reasons that you're trying to get them to move can help bring that thing back to life.
Yeah, no, I would love to share a little bit more about the flanking sales approach. And by the way, it is, and I'll start off by just emphasizing again, it is a risky approach because for all intents and purposes, we're at the president of the company and he's stalemating us, right? He's not moving forward. He's not accepting any more phone calls. I have to say that the sales partner came back to us and got on the phone with Andrew Davis, who was our partner experience manager tied to this account, and said, Andrew, I don't care what we need to do. I got to quit spending time on this. How do we make this either move forward and close or just have it go away? And Andrew pulled in Bob Buchanan, our EVP of sales and marketing, and set up a quick conference call with the partner and said, let's review the compelling event. What are they trying to do? And the three of them really honed in on, hey, the issue here, billable hours is certainly one of the big issues, but the bigger issue here is the frustration of these attorneys and the frustration of IT that they're having. The IT director, who was only in for a year, remind you, he was 100% behind us. And we actually pulled him in prior to executing on the approach and said, we're going to take advantage of our sales partner having personal relationship with a couple of the attorneys. He's going to go ahead and invite them out to go have a happy hour. And he's going to just ask them for their input and how we might be able to, better position this to the president to make it happen. So it was a very calculated approach on our behalf. He went out, took those two partners to a happy hour, sat down and talked about it, really got their buy-in on what it was going to be and their support, if you would, and then said, yeah, something, we're happy to go in front of the board and have the conversation and let them know that if we don't do something about IT, it doesn't need to be RapidScale, mind you, but if we don't do something about it, there's more trouble looming in the future than just non-billable hours. So I won't call it a Hail Mary because it was more of a designed play. But it certainly worked in this occasion. And the one piece that I will remind all partners out there is there was a probability that they would have told us no, and the deal would have been dead and we'd had to go find another one.
Risky but effective. And the great thing about RapidScale is that you have the experience and you've got the track record that can help partners understand when that might be appropriate and how to help them do it. As with so many things, RapidScale will help our partners in taking advantage of these opportunities. They know this territory. Take advantage of it. I'm really excited. Mark, it's great to talk to you. I could go on with this all day. It's something I get very excited about. It's a piece of our industry that our partners are really beginning to embrace and finding a lot of success in. So Thursday morning, 11 a.m. Eastern, we're going to go deep dive on more of RapidScale's products, services, and offerings, and more of this type of strategy as to how partners can win with RapidScale.
Thanks, Doug. Appreciate it. We're looking forward to Thursday morning.
Mark, thanks so much. That's Mark Siktowski. He's the president of RapidScale and their chief security officer, security strategy officer. Thanks so much for being here on the call. This is great information. I encourage you to take advantage of the Thursday call as well. We'll see our Telarus partners there. That is a Telarus partner exclusive. Check out RapidScale. You can see them at rapidscale.net. A lot of great information, industry-specific information on that website that you want to take a look at. That's it. I'm out of time. They're going to throw me off. Our thanks to Mark Statowski and RapidScale for today's presentation. Also to Your Six, join their presentation tomorrow morning. And our thanks to each of you for your attendance and participation today. If you have suggestions for our weekly call, please email them to marketing@telarus.com. We're back here next Tuesday with more. Till then, I'm Doug Miller, the voice of Telarus. Have a great selling week, everyone.